Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you got the chance to check out my full platform walk around video where I discussed the type of platform that I use in my 4Runner and how it's able to suit my needs, and it's an affordable build, and the different aspects about it, including the dog platform that it has. And so at the end of that video, I mentioned that I would talk through all the dimensions of the platform, and the last video just got to be way too long, so I had to put this in its own video. So I'm going to walk through the middle portion of that platform in my vehicle as well as the dog platform, and then at the end I'm going to just connect the previous video that I did on the dimensions for the trunk portion of the platform. So let's first start out with like the plywood layout of that middle section of my platform. So basically we have 3 doors that you can open up, and this highlighted space with the red outline, that signifies a piano hinge that is basically where it's going to swing for those opening of the doors. So we have these 3 small compartments, and then that one large compartment that I said was pretty tough to access while you're on a trip, but it's still nice storage space. So if we look at this, the main platform space here is about 54 inches by 26 inches. And then this part down here is kind of custom fit to fit around the front of the wheel wells, which would sit right here. So basically what you want to do is you're going to have to do a little bit of measuring yourself, but hopefully these dimensions can get you started. So the top of this space is 54 inches wide, and then it's going to shrink down to around 45 inches and then down to 43 inches. And this dimension here, maybe in the middle, is more around 14 and 1/8 of an inch, give or take. This middle section was really hard to measure because I used a lot of custom measurements so that it would be level on my platform, so that it would be level on the rubber mats that are in my vehicle, because I use the WeatherTech rubber mats. So I had to make sure that it would be level using those mats, and so my dimensions are a little bit custom, a little bit wonky, but everything leveled out for me. So you might have to do a little bit of customizing yourself. So, and then moving on to the dimensions that are under that top platform surface. So basically under that platform is this right here. And I know there's a lot going on in this picture, but I'm going to help break it down. So basically, there's a lot going on in this picture, but hopefully I can break it down so that it makes sense. But basically, to start out so that you have a good picture in your mind, these red shaded rectangles, they're the vertical 2x8s that fit around the headrests for the middle row, and that's what supports the very front of that platform so that it is a level surface. Because when you fold down 4Runner back, I guess the back supports of the middle row, when you fold those down, it's not level, so you have to make it level in some way or fashion. So that's how I did this. Basically, the back of this big rectangle is supported by a long 2x4 that lays on the actual seat back, folded down. And then in the front, you have this 2x2 that is connected to all of these 2x8s. And so all these supporting boards help to provide more structure for the platform, not the platform sheetrock, but the platform plywood on the top. And so then you don't get this like bending and not structurally sound platform that's in the middle. So like it says down here, the red shading is for 2x8 posts basically that support that middle section. The blue is for 2x2 boards, which is basically a board like that size. So I have this board right here that helps support this hinging part. And then I have these 2 small boards. These boards sit in there free floating, and that's where I mentioned in the other video, I turnbuckle crank this thing back towards the trunk. These are boards that you just drop in there when you're putting the platform into the middle row space in the 4Runner. And then I have this long running 2x4, which is about 54 inches, the whole full length. And then there's all of these small 2x2s. And basically these pieces for each of here and here, they're supports, so when the hinging doors fold down, they have a space right here to lay on top of, and they don't just push all the way through their opening. So I hope that makes sense. And then this one, same exact thing, but this will fold up in this direction. So basically this distance inside between this 2x2 and the 2x4 at the back is roughly 22.75 inches. Again, a lot of these things were kind of custom measured because I had to have these vertical posts fit around the headrest as well as fit into specific spaces in the rubber mats. So I had to do a pretty custom job to fit those in. And then this is just like a vertical view of the posts that I designed. So these two on the left behind the driver's side, they're 15.25 inches tall. And then the ones on the right are 15.125 inches tall because the rubber mat's a little different on that side. I don't know if that's just how the carpet lays in the car and you don't know that difference of, you know, somewhat less than an inch difference, but I found that that helped level out the platform. And honestly, when you put carpet on this platform and you have the carpet on the floor and you maybe have rubber mats and whatnot, when you start cranking down on those turnbuckles, you can sort of fine tune it so that it is more level. And then these are the two locations where I put I pre-drilled a small hole and then I turned in one of these hooks, or I guess it's a loop, so then I could hook through the turnbuckle and crank down in those locations I mentioned in the other video. So each of these posts were spaced out roughly this much, 17.5/6 for the left here. Then we have 13.25 and then 15.25. I don't know how I got that 5/6 number, but it's roughly around 16.5 inches or a little larger than that. But I tried to take as many dimensions as I could of the build. Like I said, I was tweaking things so that it would fit, and I kept on test fitting my build. So you'll have to do that when you're building your platform. And building platforms for vehicles is kind of an organic system and setup. I don't think it's super easy to just build something straight up that's going to fit in there without like laser fitting and test fitting a ton of prototypes. And if you're trying to do something on the cheap, you're going to have to stumble through some of that measuring so that you can help yourself save money by doing it yourself. You pay a lot of money for someone who's gone through the whole process and measured out everything super specifically with perfect mounting brackets and everything. If you're trying to do it in a more affordable way or do it yourself, it's going to be very hard to replicate something like that without purchasing a lot of expensive tools. So that's the middle section, and this is kind of a bird's eye view. So this would be the driver's side and the passenger side. Then the last thing I want to cover before I talk about the trunk layout is this, which is the dog platform. So if you remember in the video, this is where the passenger seat was and this is where the driver's seat was. And basically what we're doing here is this is the walkway for our dog to come off our bed and then onto his bed. And there's not a whole lot here I have measured. I'm put in some kind of reference measurements, but again, you're gonna have to test fit this in your own vehicle because it's just super hard to measure these curves and things like that. I mean, it would almost be annoying for you to try and mark a board based on what I would have written here. Honestly, the best option would just be a printout of some kind, but most people don't have printers that could print something this large for a template. So that all being said, this isn't perfectly to scale, but this distance is about 13.25 inches. We have 31 3/8 inches over here. This width is about 18 inches. So the full depth that the dog has to kind of move around is about 24 inches or 2 feet, 23.5 inches. But you can kind of adjust this part here to move farther back if you'd like, because I moved my passenger seat forward so I had more headroom. But if you're, you know, a shorter person or you don't need the space necessarily on the passenger side, you could easily move this back. And the reason I wanted to design this platform this way is in a pinch, I wanted to still be able to drive the vehicle, so I didn't want a platform that stretched the whole front 2 seats. And plus the steering wheel gets in the way on the driver's side, so this seemed like a good way to do it. Now on the right here, you have this 7.5 inch insert and then this 9.75 inch insert that fits onto the armrest for the door. This is just another support so that this side is supported and this side supported, so this is a bit of a bridge over the front passenger seat so your dog has that space to lay. Before it has to curve around the head unit and the air conditioning and heating controls, there's this about 20 inches worth that sits right in front of where the passenger airbag and glove box is. And then that whole platform is about 33.25 inches wide. So it's not a super large piece of plywood, and this is all just cut out of plywood. I may have cut some small sections to boost this up a little bit because I believe the armrest is slightly lower than this part here. So you may want to cut 2 pieces of, small plywood that you can attach right under the platform, under these 2 flaps here, so that you can shim it up enough that the platform's level. Otherwise you might get kind of a slope and it might be a little awkward. So, and then after I had cut that out, I covered it in carpet and it blended right in with the rest of the platform, and I think really finished it off nicely. So if you're bored by this so far, I apologize, but I hope that these dimensions really can help some of you build your own platform. So now I'm going to continue on to the trunk portion of the platform so that you can look at those dimensions and keep on designing the platform, because really this whole system kind of works as a complete unit. If you want to build just the dog platform, or if you want to build just the trunk platform, that will work pretty well. But the center portion that I talked about at the beginning of the video, that's going to be kind of hard to use on its own without having that trunk portion that I've already shown in a different video. So hopefully this gives you some good inspiration, and let's move on to the trunk portion of the platform. All right, so we're sitting down at my desk, and let's go over these dimensions. So I've got them right here, and let's talk through them. So first, we're going to start with the main hatch. So the main hatch is the big hinging portion of this back area, and if you see, the main hatch is basically 43 inches by 32 inches. And then on either side, the left and right, we have these little hinging compartment lids, I guess you could call them. So those have all these small dimensions where it shows kind of the cutout. And then on the left side, there's some plastic that takes out part of that flap. But basically, I tried to take as good of a measurement as I could for the curves, but you're still going to probably have to measure some of that yourself on your platform. So that's the top, and that's all built out of plywood, as you can see in the top right on the paper. And then let's switch over to the actual box that sits under that plywood hatch. So on the left and right, you've got those tiny cutout pieces that I was talking about that are quite custom. But if you notice, there's like little indents in the plastic, and that's why there's kind of this small jut out that sticks down on either side. So both of those are roughly like 6.5 inches wide, but I tried to measure them as accurately as I could. Like I showed earlier, all of it's covered in carpet, so the dimensions maybe not quite precise, but that's okay. If you can get them close enough, once you put carpet on it, it should fit in your 4Runner just fine. So, and then if you look at the dimensions of the main box, it's 30 inches deep, and then it's roughly like 41.75 inches wide. And just to clarify, that 30 inches deep is the length of that board in the drawing. So the front and the back of the box have the longer sections, and then the left and right sides of the box, those boards fit inside those other front and back boards, if that kind of makes sense. So the cap is on the front and the back, not the left and the right. So, and that interior board is 30 inches. So, and then if you look close enough, I don't know if the colors show up well enough, but there's like a navy blue shading on the top of the boards that are 2x8. and then there's a red shading on the top of the boards that are 2x2. And then you'll just have to kind of figure out how long of boards you need to buy. Typically, if you buy the boards in longer dimensions, they're cheaper. But I don't know what sort of car you can use to haul your materials, so that'll kind of be up to you as to what sort of dimension of board you buy. Just know that those boards that are listed as like a 2x2 or a 2x8, they're typically about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch smaller than what they mentioned. So in my experience, a 2x2 has really been around like 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and then the 2x8s are around like 1.5 inches by 7 inches. So even though you're buying a 2x8, your box is probably not going to be 8 inches tall. So just to give you that forewarning up front. So I hope those dimensions were really helpful. I really wanted to just do a quick breakdown of that platform and try and help some of you with maybe some inspiration for building your own platform, or if you were hoping for just kind of a step-by-step guide that could give you a good place to get the bulk of the design, then maybe my hatch is a good one that you can mimic and use in your vehicle. So if this video brought you any sort of value, or you enjoyed the video, please, if you would like the video, that really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. And if you like my videos, or you think you might be interested in some of my future content, please subscribe. And I hope I can entertain you and also bring some knowledge or value to your life. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.